Hi.
Welcome to our page, Frugal in Canada Talks and
Page not channel.
Thank you so much for the wonderful response we got in our previous video. If you already haven't seen the video, then I'm gonna link it in the description box below, and or it should be somewhere up here as well. You have to see that video first. And if you're joining us new, so we landed about
10 days.
10 days ago in Canada as permanent residents, and we thought that this entire channel should be going towards a direction where we can actually help everyone like us in our situation, and so that y'all don't make the same mistakes and y'all immigrate to Canada as permanent residents without wasting a lot of money, because this channel is after all about frugality and how you can save a lot of money. Alright, so do you want to say what are we going to talk about today?
Yeah, we'll be talking about the flight journey, entire details from Pune to Toronto.
So yeah, flight journey, we have already shared our story time experience in the previous video. This video, because we got so many questions about it on our Facebook and personally as well, it's going to be specifically about the flight details in terms of how we went around booking it, which flights were booked and for how much. So we're gonna share the actual cost of our booking, and yeah, he'll be the best person to do that. And after that, you will have to stick around after sharing the exact details of the flights and everything. We are also going to share in the first 10 days the different problems that we have faced. All right, stay tuned.
Yeah, I was in the part of several other groups. So from there, we got the info that the Vande Bharat mission has started, and there are several flights. They are going directly from Delhi to Toronto, and also from these subparts. So I will suggest that to book the Delhi Frankfurt Toronto route, because direct Delhi Toronto route sometimes the agents book a large amount of tickets, so you won't have much tickets. And then also in the Air India app, the site will get hanged and you won't be able to book, and you will always see the tickets sold out. And even if you book, I have some of my friends or some of my older persons whose ticket got cancelled after 2-3 days of booking. So if you don't want to take the risk, book that Delhi Frankfurt Toronto route. It is a very safe and cheapest route. But yeah, that in the layover is a bit maximum higher side. So if you are okay with the layover, then definitely you can book in that particular subpart route, Delhi Frankfurt Toronto route. Yes.
Yeah.
For the details of the flight from Pune to Delhi, we booked Indigo, and it cost around 4500 per head, INR per head. From Delhi to Frankfurt, it is 32,000 INR per head, and from Frankfurt to Toronto, it is 763 CAD per head. So it is a cost. As of now, at that time we traveled in 18th of August. To tell you to install the 3 apps: Air India, Air Canada apps, and Indigo apps. So through the app, the booking is safe as of now in the COVID situation, and don't go for any agents.
Yeah, you don't need to go through any agents. The agents, we came across a few agents and they were charging 3 times the actual cost per person 3 times. Okay, so just count how many ever members are traveling with you, and extremely expensive. And not just the expense part, it wasn't even reliable, because between that period of 1st to 16th 17th August, we were always active in the different groups, and we came across many people who had a different ticket number. So the continuation ticket, the beginning number, and apparently those were not being validated by Air India. So just avoid the different scams of agents. As he said, download all the apps, book through the apps only, not through any third agent, not through any third party. Download all the apps on your phones, on your tablets, and as you all know, Air India, it's become kind of like a bidding system, right? Because everyone's trying to book at the same time. There's so many permanent residents who are already permanent residents, so many COPR holders like we were, who are trying to book and who are trying to come in. So, what you should do is maybe in your family, 3 people or 2 people at least can sit with the apps at the same time and just start booking. Yeah. Do you want to share the different cards which are or different ways that we people can book? Because this
Yeah.
confusion was coming up that what type of cards are being used,
Hmm.
whether international cards are being used or being accepted, things like that.
Actually, I booked through my HDFC international debit card, and it went smooth for
Mm-hmm.
every card, everything. So
Mm-hmm.
like Indigo, Air Canada, Air Canada, and Air India.
Yeah.
So in 3 cases, I booked through HDFC international debit card, and it went smooth. And you also can try through net banking, but I didn't try, so I can't suggest.
On the net banking, I'll say in Air Canada, because I was looking at the Air Canada
Okay.
part. Air Canada is not accepting any sort of international net banking or things like that. It's only international debit card and credit card.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure that we used HDFC, and there are so many other great private banks as well. If you do have a credit card or a debit card, so when you're using the debit card, you have to see in the corner it should be written as international debit card. So usually written on the top or the sides. International debit card needs to be written. It needs to be a chip based card. If it's not a chip based card, it's not gonna work. And secondly, if you are using an international credit card, again, it has to be international credit card. Please do ensure that your credit card limit
Yeah.
is well above the total cost which will come. So in both our cases, it should have been above what, 2 lakhs if
To
we were
two and a
gonna
half.
use. Yeah, so we if we were suppose if we were gonna use our credit cards, we should have made sure that our credit card limit was well above 2.5 lakhs. Now that's quite an easy process to do. We have used our credit cards earlier for big purchases, and you just need to call up your bank and share that you need to increase the credit card limit. But safest is international
Debit
debit
card. Yeah.
card,
That's
credit
what I have
card.
done.
Credit cards also safe, but again you have to just be cautious about paying them back and things like that. Yeah.
And also, one thing I can suggest you just to follow the pages of those airlines. Like,
We shared in our previous video, you definitely need to follow not just Twitter, all their social media
yeah,
platforms, whatever they have, whatever flights you're taking. Definitely, at least now during the COVID situation, you need to follow their social media pages for regular updates, and you may get some vouchers or something, like as we shared in our previous video, how we shared tons of money in the extra baggage actually. So there was a clause which we caught on to because Arnab was very super active on the social media platform and the different groups, support groups. And yeah, you'll have to go and check in the previous video what we are talking about. But we saved a lot of money in baggage.
I'm going to point out the salient some points that we missed in my previous video so that you can get acquainted with and sync with our previous one. So regarding the paperwork, I would say that Indigo, you will when you do the web check-in, and yes, from the domestic flight and for the Vande Bharat flight, web checking is must. So and it starts 48 hours of the journey. So I did web checking in both one the Air India and Indigo flight. So in the Indigo flight, once you do web checking, you will have a baggage tag. It needs to be there in your check-in baggage. You need to paste it and go to the airport. Even if you don't have from the airport counter itself, they will provide. But it's better to do it from home. You will after the boarding pass, you need to print it out and go to the airport. For the Air India, also as I told in my previous video also, and if on the Twitter you will get 2 forms. You need to fill it up per person and take it with your checking luggage.
Yes, so this per person thing is very important. Even if you're going as a family, as a couple, you have to have individual forms for everyone, even your children as well. So need to make sure that it cannot be clubbed together. Yeah. And was there anything special or there any paperwork for Air Canada?
No, in the Air Canada flight itself, I think 10 minutes before the landing, they will provide
Yeah, they
you
give
2 forms.
that.
One is your address and one is your details per
Mm-hmm.
person, and you need to fill up in the flight itself, and you need to submit it in the airport
Yeah.
to the immigration authorities.
One super tip, you need to carry pens.
Yes.
You need to carry pens. Long gone are the days where people are gonna give you pens if you forget it at home. airports and airlines are not providing pens for obvious reasons, and they are announcing it that because of COVID, we are not giving out pens. So you'll be stuck penless. No one will give you the pen.
And also, it is better to carry a black pen because in the immigration we are asked to fill the form in a black pen.
Yeah.
So from the beginning, it will be better on a safer side. You should carry a black pen.
Yeah.
And regarding the paperwork, I think all I have covered. And in the Indigo, there is a health declaration form. You don't need to fill it; it will be auto filled, and you just need to take the printout. The Indigo domestic, I'm talking about.
Alright, before we move on to the next part of the video, because this is a 2 parts video again, and before we move on, I would like to remind you guys to please give this video a big thumbs up and share, spread this information. You know,
subscribe as well.
Yeah, and after that, subscribe as well if you haven't already, because we are gonna dedicate this channel to bring you all the information related to Canada as new immigrants, and gonna talk about it, and also gonna share a few
Tips and
good
tricks.
tips and tricks.
It will be helpful for you.
And because I love to cook as well, I'm gonna show you a lot of good food places as well, all budget friendly, of course. Alright, so the second part of our video is going to be all about, in these last 7-10 days, what are the problems we have faced in terms of house hunting. Okay, would you like to just start off? How's your experience? Because I'll just share a little bit before you start that, because I have experienced staying abroad as student and as a working professional as well for a long time. I was kind of, in that thing that I knew what are the hassles you have. But yes, I was not permanent immigrant in any of the countries I've stayed in. But now for you, this scenario is very different, right?
Yeah, so first of all, I need to say that after reaching Canada, you need to spend 14 days in quarantine. It is a must. So from India, what I did, I started talking with some of the Airbnb owners. I booked an Airbnb now where we are currently staying, and it will end on 1st of September, our quarantine period, and we'll move out. So actually, the problem that I face that some of the owners, I think 50% of the owners, they are not ready to give the room the rent for any quarantine period, because you know that they are also
For
very
obvious
skeptical
reasons.
about that, and they don't want any risk
And
involved.
they have to spend extra on the extra cleaning. Like
Yes.
the cleaning process is a bit
Sanitization,
obviously
cleaning,
it's a bit
yeah.
different, yeah. So I think, yeah, you need to be upfront,
Yes.
before you book Airbnb. In fact, when we went on to Airbnb app, there's a clause. If you read everything in those tiny details clauses, there's a clause where the host has to be told that if you are gonna self quarantine there. So you have to do that. And also, if you're thinking of saving up on little bit of money, please and you're gonna share the Airbnb, even if you're coming with your wife, husband, children, whatever, you have to make sure that if you're taking a private master bedroom, for example, that has to have an ensuite. That means it has to have a private bathroom. If you don't have a private bathroom with your private room, you will not pass immigration. That's absolute compulsory. You need to have a private bathroom with a private room, and you need to prove that how are you gonna get your food, so basically I think we'll suggest that spend a little bit more. We spent quite a fair bit for 15 days. We were a bit pinpointed about the location.
Yeah, we
Because
staying
our friend-
staying in
yeah.
downtown. So for the better clarity, better connectivity, we choose that. And also
Connectivity for a friend. Now, obviously,
Yeah.
we are not gonna go out, but our friend here was gonna be the one who's gonna drop off the groceries for us at our doorstep, so that we don't have to go to the hassle of Instacart. We did order once from Instacart, but I'll tell you what are the problems with Instacart in our next video. All right.
Yeah. So also make your quarantine plan very secured and very detailed, because in the immigration they put a lot of importance on your quarantine plan. And I will suggest you to better to write the plan in a paper directly to show them in case they need. It will have more clarity, and they won't ask you much. Otherwise, they will keep asking about the quarantine plan, where you will stay, how you manage your food, is there any friend who will be coming. So lots of questions. So to avoid that, make a quarantine plan printed or written in a paper. In case they want, just show them.
Alright. And now, do you want to shed some light about after quarantine? What are the different scenarios of houses that we have faced? Last 7 days, we've spoken to so many realtors and so many friends and all. So, what's the scenario here in Canada now for permanent immigrants?
Actually, for permanent immigrants that we are facing, as you know, that we have landed almost 10 days ago, so we don't have any job. So most of the room owners, the house owners, they are needing the proof of income, which definitely new immigrants can't show, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, you need to be ready to give 3 or 4 months advance upfront, because 2 months you have to give because
First
first
and
and last
last,
month,
yeah.
but extra 2 months also you may need to give
Hmm.
depending on as you don't have any proof of income.
So I'll just pause you. So, with relation to what you just said, is that legally a management company or landlord. So here, houses are done, houses or flats or apartments, whatever it is, they are handled by two kinds of people. One is by management, big management companies, realtor management companies, and two is by landlords, and usually realtors are assigned to landlords. Okay, now when you are going through a realtor, don't worry, in not unlike India, here tenants do not pay the realtor, it's the landlord who pays the realtor. So go ahead with realtors will make your life a bit easier in terms of paperwork. And legally, a management company or landlord cannot ask you for more than first and last as a deposit. Okay, first and last. So that means if you are taking a lease of 6 months from October, you will have to give October's and the last month's rent beforehand, and that's mandate for everyone, whether you're Canadian born, not nothing. It has to be there. Now, as you said, to make your chances and make your the application to go through a bit stronger, you yourself have to unofficially kind of offer. So if the tenant offers, it's okay, it's legal. If the tenant offers about, say, we are offering what, 3 months
Three
rent
months,
at
yeah.
the time, three to
Three
four
to four,
months
yeah,
three to
max.
4 months, it really depends on how long. So for example, if you're looking for 1 year, you will have to offer 4 months, two first and last, and plus two extra. And if you're looking for 6 months, you have to be ready to shell out 3 months rent in one go. Okay, so that is one big hassle that we have been facing. Earlier we were like, this is so rude, I mean, this is so mean, we have our proof of funds.
Yeah, also it is better to show your proof of funds as well, that you showed in the
Hmm.
immigration, to the landlord as well, so for the better clarity, and also they will be more secure from their mindset.
Yeah, and also why just proof of funds are not gonna help your application is because everything here you have to do an application, whatever
Yes.
house you're seeing, unless it's a sublease. Even if you're looking for places which are basements or sharing in a room, like a 3 bedroom, and you're gonna take a one master bedroom, you have to go through an application, whether it's landlords, whether it's realtors, whether it is management companies. Application needs to be put in. It's quite basic application, nothing big. The main thing is obviously on credit report. Now we don't have our credit reports in India, so
Yeah.
what, sorry, in Canada. So what we are going to do is, there are ways where you can take your credit reports from India as well. We are going to attach that. And also one more thing that we have faced. Tell about the master bedroom, what's happening, the occupancy, one or two, the problems which we faced.
Yeah, regarding the two people that he was
Yeah,
not
yeah,
agreed with,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So our main priority was that we really want some place which is kind of downtown, in the map where Toronto is written and where old Toronto is written. That's the entire location that we are going for. It's our personal choice. We really don't want a basement apartment for quite a few reasons, that even though there would be walkout basements where bigger windows will be there, I think we definitely feel a bit suffocated. And also one more problem which I'm facing in basement, because right now we are in a basement apartment. One more huge problem which we are facing is that because the ceilings are so low, the smoke alarm is much closer to your, the normal floor. Okay, for obvious reasons. Now, when you're cooking, even though like our place here, it's got a huge chimney, a hood which sucks up the air and all. But we have to be so cautious. I remember once I stepped out of the shower.
Yeah, and there's steam actually.
Yeah, and I take in bath in extreme hot water, and the
Steam
steam.
actually, the fire alarm got triggered with the steam event.
Yes,
A
yes.
little amount of steam, it triggered the fire alarm, and it
Yeah,
was a
yeah.
very chaotic
So
situation.
yeah, I mean it's just annoying. Fire alarm does not, the smoke alarm going off does not mean that immediately the fire brigade will come in or a fine will be put in and things like that. At least in Ontario, that's not the case. I cleared it with our host as well here, but it's very annoying. And as a cook and as a food blogger, I'm not getting sunlight to capture food also. And as a cook, I mean, I love cooking, we love cooking so
Yeah.
much. We This is a very couple activity that we do, and but we cannot cook, wholeheartedly, because we are always paying attention to that smoke alarm. So yeah, that's one of the biggest reasons we didn't want basement. We are looking for places right around in downtown Toronto, or at least just on the
Midtown
periphery.
side.
Yeah, lower midtown,
Lord
just
Midtown
on the
side.
periphery of downtown Toronto. So yeah, we have been talking to quite a few people, and this has been our
Yeah.
experience. What do you think? Is it how would you compare? Because you have rented out in India as well, obviously,
Mm.
because you've stayed away from home. Do you want to compare? Do a comparison?
The main difference that I am finding that the rule here is a favor of the tenants, but it is not in India. The rule is completely in the favor of the person who is giving the rent,
Hmm.
the owner, house owner.
How much ever income you have in India, it's
Yeah.
always in the favor of the
Landlord,
landlords.
everything.
Yeah.
And basically regarding the advance, they are here you need to give, in a general case I am talking about, you need to give first and last month money, and definitely in the last month when you are about to leave, you just give the notice 1 month prior, and in the last month rent you don't need to pay anything. But in India, definitely you will, I think, give 3 months rent in advance.
Hmm.
So even if in the last
Like a
month,
security
like security
deposit.
deposit, but this term is not available here.
Yeah.
This policy is not accepted here.
Mm-hmm.
And India, the landlords, what they do in the last month when you give the living notice, they will pinpoint on your mistakes, and they always try to
Security.
cut the money from your advance amount for the security deposit,
Yeah.
so that you will get the less amount of money. But
Hmm.
here it is very transparent, very clear. The paperwork is very clear. But one thing in India that I faced, for a new people, you don't need to show them the proof of income in many cases, because for me I didn't have to show. I don't know about others.
But you are a working professional
Yes,
then,
but
yeah.
I didn't need to give them the pay slip.
Okay,
But
alright.
here you need to give them
Yeah.
at least 1 or 2 months,
2 months pay
2 months
stubs.
pay
Your
stubs.
pay slips are called pay stubs.
Yes.
You have to be ready. Even if you're a working professional, paperwork here is not that easy. You need to have an employment letter. You need to have your pay stubs. So yeah, paperwork are there
Yes.
in place, but
And the main difference
yeah.
that another main difference that I'm finding is, here there is a term called application. You need to apply for that. But in India, if you go to the room house, let's say you choose that, you have agreed with the landlord about the money, rent, advance, everything. It got sorted out. But here it is not.
Yeah,
Once
it's a
you, yeah,
proper
proper
application.
application you need to
There would
give.
be quite a few other people also with you, and it's sort of like bidding, kind of like bidding
But in
basically.
India it is first come first serve, but here it is not.
Yeah. So yeah, just these were a few problems, or not problems, I would say
Difference,
differences
yes.
that we have been facing. Once the quarantine is over, we are gonna look at a few places where we are aiming for 6 months. Once everything is done, we are gonna share all that. We don't want to give out right now because there are 2 3 places that we have been looking at, but definitely we are looking at something like a 6 months. We don't want to be locked for 1 year. And one more thing, in India it's easy to break a lease. You give 1 month notice, it's easy. If the landlord's good, if you've been good at the house, you've not destroyed the house, it's easy to come out of lease. Here it's not that easy. There are a lot of problems, lot of this thing, that thing. Once we get to know a bit more about that, we will definitely highlight that. But if you're going to, like, we have taken the help of a realtor, you need to be upfront that you're looking for 6 months, you're looking for 8 months, or you're looking for a year. It makes their job easier as well. They're not going to show you places where the landlord's just expecting 1 year at least. So just be upfront, be truthful, be upfront here. You don't have to think like that Indian jugaru mind kind of a thing.
So I will
okay?
suggest to find the room around 6 months contract, because you never know where your job will land, right? There is a new immigrant. Let's say I'm in Toronto. I have taken that 12 months contract, and after 4 months I will get a job in Ottawa. Then how can I do that?
Yeah.
So it is better always have a chance. Give you a chance. As of now, until unless you get a full job,
You
have
don't know
6
where
months.
you'll be,
Definitely it is
yeah.
your decision, but I can suggest to take not more than 6 months contract, if possible.
Alright, so that's it for today's video. Let us know how you like the videos, and whatever questions you all have, please, we encourage you to drop your questions down in the comment section. We are gonna tackle every question possible compared to our experience, because we do not want to get in other people's experience. It's always first hand for us, so that we can be truthful about what information we are gonna share. And yeah, next video is gonna be all about the different paperwork that we'll have to do once our quarantine is over, because during the quarantine all we have done is just open an online bank account. More on that in the next video. Before we go, please do like this video, and what
And
else?
if you have any suggestion also for us, that any particular topic, any particular sector you want to see our video, please suggest that. We will definitely
Yes.
try to make the video as well.
Yes, we're gonna
So that
reach
it can
out.
be helpful.
Yes, we're gonna reach out to different people and everything, whatever needs to be done for you guys. Definitely give a big thumbs up and share, and also subscribe. Until then,
Bye.
take care.